I get asked all the time, what's the best mod kit? And the answer is very subjective. Wait, hold on. Is this just the same script as last time? I mean, really, I could just re-edit that one. Thankfully, there are a few key differences between SP kits and regular GBA kits. So let's talk about that. Of course, we need to start with some ground rules. Last time I really only went over IPS kits, but I do feel like it's important to talk about the 001, the 101, and the ITA kit. Also, this is probably a good time to drill into your heads which kit is which. We're going to be looking at a lot more screens this time around, so here's some more nicknames for you. This is the V2, this is the V5, this is the 3.0, this is the ITA, this is the Slate, this is the 001, this is the 101, and this is the V4, but I'm only going to reference it in the battery testing. And just like last time, we're going to compare them all category by category, starting with compatibility. All of these mod kits are compatible with all SP motherboards. So what I mean by compatibility is how many different SP shells will these work with. Thankfully, this is a much easier question to answer compared to the better GBA model. Every kit, with exception for the V2 and the ITA kits, will work with any SP shell. For the V2, you'll either need to do a little trimming or use an IPS ready shell. The ITA kit requires FunnyPlaying's new shells that we will go over in a minute. Other than that, all the other screens should work with any SP shell. So if you're looking for an SP shell guide like I did with the better GBA model, this is pretty much it. There's not much else to go over other than the build quality. Now, I'm not going to go drop testing these things. I don't have the stomach for that. But there are some things that I need to point out. I'm personally not a fan of the new FunnyPlaying shells. I don't like the uncanny valley look of the tiny top screen screw holes, but ultimately that is a nitpick. My biggest issue with them is that they're super glossy, which looks great for 1 second until a little piece of dust lands on it and scratches it all up. I am not over exaggerating. This is my ITA SP that I have barely used. It's lived 90% of its life in a felt-lined pocket in my Switch backpack, yet this is what it currently looks like. That's just how glossy things go. I genuinely don't understand why people are so obsessed with glossy plastic, but many shell makers are going glossy and I don't like that. Please, just make matte variants too. Even with my complaints, FunnyPlaying shells are as high quality as the rest of them. Being made of aluminum, the Slate is at the top of the list for quality and it's not even close. But there is one set of shells that could be a lot better. If you ever see the reproduction shells of the original colors or the special editions like these, they could be better. I still say they're usable, but whoever makes these should get a better mold and use better plastic. They feel a little cheaper and sometimes the plastic rubs while opening and closing, but ultimately they're still good enough that I feel comfortable using them on SPs in my store. This is another really easy section to go over. All of these kits will install fairly easy and similarly. With the exception to the Slate, they all have an optional wire you can solder to adjust the brightness with the brightness button. Since the Slate does not give access to the brightness button, you can solder the button controls to L, R, and select like the original GBA. So by default, the Slate is the hardest IPS mod, but it's really not that hard and it's definitely worth the extra effort. Plus, the no hinges kind of cancels out the extra soldering for me. All the IPS mods for the SP are relatively easy once you get past the hinges. However, the ITA kit is the most complex and most annoying out of all of them. Overall, it's still not too hard, but it did give me some issues. That's part of the reason why that ITA video will never come out from me, but I also did accidentally shoot it in HDR and messed up all the footage, so yeah, that one's not coming out. Now with any IPS kit, the screens are going to look great. There's really only a slight variation in color between them all, and they're all going to look better than the 001. I know it's a camera pointed at a screen, but here's what they all look like as close to the same level of brightness as I can get. You can decide for yourself which one you like. They all look awesome though. I will say that I'm not a fan of the ITA kit. I'm team IPS all the way, and let's just call it how it is. This is just the DSi screen in a GBA. ITA just stands for DSi to GBA. It's just another TFT screen that FunnyPlaying sells at IPS pricing, and honestly, it's kinda aggravating. They say it's to match the 101 screen, but to me, it really doesn't. It honestly looks worse because the screen quality is worse. And if you wanna know what it looks like, go mod a DSi and play a Game Boy Advance game on it. It'll probably be cheaper to do that than to buy the ITA kit itself, not even including the Game Boy that you have to buy with it. But you can decide for yourself which one you like better. They all look awesome though. More important to me is brightness. Most of these kits have a good range of brightness. They're all adjustable, but the V5 is the only one that doesn't require soldering to adjust, which that is a good thing, but it's also the only one with touchpads. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm quite the touchpad hater. Again, with the exception of the Slate, all of these kits are adjustable with the brightness button. The ITA 3.0 and V5 all have menus that you can open and navigate with long presses of the brightness button. The Slate once again uses L, R, and select to adjust the brightness levels and does not have a menu. But how bright do these get? Clearly you can tell that the V2 is going to be the best outside. They all do okay, but the V2 is going to be the best for you outdoorsy people. I mean, you could use the 001. It's not that bad in the sun. It was made to work that way. But maybe you're the type to play at night and you don't want a bright screen blaring in your face. Well, this room is pitch black and these are all at their lowest brightness. But what's the power draw like at all these different brightness levels? This was a lot easier to test this time around since SPs use LiPo batteries. So all these tests were done at 3 volts on the same Japanese Mystery Dungeon screen. Here's the power draw for all the kits' lowest brightnesses, and here's the power draw for all the kits at the highest brightnesses. And while all these numbers are important, we should look at the power draw numbers at equal brightnesses. So here's how much power each kit draws at a brightness equal to the top AGS 101 brightness. Most of these kits are around their middle brightness level, but both the 3.0 and ITA kits are at their 6th brightest of 8 levels. Once again, for some reason, the V5 draws more power than its previous V4 revision. Thankfully, it's not as drastic, but I'm still not sure why this is happening. This time around, I decided not to do the stopwatch testing. Instead, you could do the math, or you can go to this website that I'll have linked down below. Which is the best kit? You decide. Seriously, what's the point of me laying out all of this information for you if you're just going to have me choose it for you? At that point, why don't you just give me money and I'll give you a modded Game Boy? Oh wait, I do that. Think about your playstyle, the environment you normally play in, and pick the one that suits you the best. The best part of this is you really can't go wrong. They're all so similar, except the ITA screen. I don't recommend it. Last time I talked about what my perfect mod kit was, and honestly, the SP mod kits are nearly there. I don't really care about lamination since every kit already sticks the lens to the screen, but it's always nice. The colors are already good. Most are already drop-in ready now. Just having a solid range of brightness, battery life, and a wide variety of lens colors will make me happy. Oh, and if you kit makers are listening, try to find a way to use the brightness button without having to solder. If the original screens can do it, then why can't the mod kits? I feel like it has to be possible, right? I would like to make some stuff clear. If you already have an IPS modded SP, I personally don't think any of these kits have enough of a reason to upgrade between. While they aren't all completely equal, all the IPS kits are going to have a huge improvement over the original visually, and I think you'll be happy with any of them. And if you do have a working AGS 101, don't mod it. It's a really solid screen and you're not missing out on anything. But honestly, do whatever you want. No matter what kit you end up choosing, you can save some money by using code JAKE at ZLabs, Retro Modding, and RGRS. Links to all of them down below. And when you're ready to mod your Game Boy, I already have tutorials ready for all of them, except the ITA. Screw that. No pun intended. But let me know what kit you chose in those comments down below. As for the kits that will inevitably come in the future, I will compare them to everything we discussed in this video in their own future tutorials. So you're going to hear me reference this video a lot going forward, which is fair because I've spent a lot of time, effort, and money on this video to make it the ultimate SP IPS kit comparison. I don't always ask for likes, but it would be greatly appreciated if you found this video helpful. And of course, subscribing if you're new around here. And shout out to the Backlog Club, my podcast that I just started with my friend Jordan. If you want to hear me talk about video games, go subscribe to that channel too. But I think that's everything. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. I don't like the uncanny valley look of the top. Okay, here we go. I don't like the uncanny valley look of the tiny top screen screws. I don't like the uncanny valley look of the tiny top screen screw holes. Boom.